Is copy still the most lucrative form of writing? Or is there a kind of writing you can do that's worth far more than writing, admittedly, very lucrative sales copy? The answer is, copy is no longer number one, in my opinion. I'm going to explain what is, and it's going to shock you. I think content is the new king of writing in terms of how much money it can produce for you, the writer. Because now, I've said for so long that the most lucrative niche that you can operate in as a writer, as a freelance writer, is to write sales copy for the direct response marketing industry and for businesses that market their products and services using direct response marketing. I still believe that as a freelancer, that's probably the most lucrative form of writing you're going to be able to get in most cases. The jobs that pay the biggest fees, the clients that pay the biggest fees and royalties are going to be in that direct response vein. However, if you begin writing copy for your own company, if you're writing copy for your agency, if you're a copywriter or marketing consultant, or both, like I am, or if you have a company that has nothing to do with writing copy other than you use it in your marketing, let's say, for instance, you are a publisher, you publish a very specific kind of book, or you're a speaker or a coach, or you have an e-commerce site, whatever the case may be. If you are writing your own copy or your team is writing its own copy, then writing content, I believe, is actually more valuable to you long-term than sales copy. And that's saying a lot. Because if you can write really powerful, persuasive sales copy on your sales pages and in your e-commerce parts of your website, in your checkout system, in the emails that you use to follow up when the cart is abandoned, all those places that as marketers we know we are focusing the power of clearly written, very persuasive, connection type copy that gets people to take actions. There's a lot of money to be made by dialing in that copy. Almost every company, every entrepreneur I talk to could benefit from spending more time on that copy and making it better. But I still think content could be even more valuable. And how can I possibly say that? Well, I've got a few points I want to share with you that I think will make this really clear. Content, if you're creating it correctly, is a powerful form of marketing copy. When I say marketing, I'm not talking about sales. Sales copy makes the sale. It's like, here's what we've got for sale. Here's the widget, here's the book, here's the makeup, here's the exercise program, the coaching program, whatever you're selling, your digital course. Here's what it costs. Here's what it'll do for you. Here's how you get it. Click the button, buy now. That, I just spoke out some pretty terrible sales copy, but you get the idea. That's a very tactical kind of writing that works for us in the moment. Content is a long-term strategy. You're communicating ideas, opinions, a worldview, if you will, you're doing world building. Think of what was done with the TV show Foundation on Apple Plus TV, the science fiction series based on the science fiction novels Foundation. That was an entire world that was built in the minds of the writers that has powerful influence over people who viewed that show. I mean, I'm not even sure that people understand how they were politically or philosophically or theologically influenced by watching that television show, but they were. That content was powerful in shaping mindsets, and people probably were not even aware that's what was happening. That their mindsets, their opinions, their way of thinking about certain political systems, about certain religious ideas, were shaped by that show. Go back and watch it through that lens and tell me what you see. It's powerful. Well, it doesn't have to be that subtle. You don't have to create a great science fiction series, although that's a pretty darn good way to get your ideas across. You can write books. You can write business books. Things like Gary Keller's book, The One Thing. It promotes a very specific value, idea system, worldview about what it takes to be successful, about how we're always looking for that big pivotal, one big domino we can push over such that doing it makes everything else easier or even unnecessary to achieve our goal. See how easily I remembered that worldview? That is marketing. That is influence. It's strategic influence because it makes every sale that Gary might want to make to me later easier for him to make because I already buy into his worldview. And I don't even probably realize that's what's happened. Think of your business in those terms. What kind of content can you produce that helps educate and bring people alongside you to share your beliefs, your values, your ideology, your approach to business, to life, to your profession, in such a way that when they think of you in the category of what it is you do to help people, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're an author, a speaker, a trainer, how can you communicate with your people in a way that shapes and influences their worldview, that shapes and influences the marketplace you're going to be operating in? That's strategic influence. You're influencing them way out into the future in a way they maybe don't even see right now, it's not because we're trying to hide it. It's because it's a powerful way to communicate. It's a very respectful way to communicate with people. And then when you have something to offer later, they're a lot more likely to buy it because they know you. And you and they share a common worldview. That's powerful. That's what content can do. So my challenge to you is to think about how you can use that strategic influence to mold minds, to shape thinking, to prepare the market to be ready for your offerings when you're ready to make them. To do this, you have to think long term. Strategy is the overall approach you use to influence the marketplace. Tactics are the on the ground, what you do today, the email you send today to get people to buy the program you're offering today. That's a tactical maneuver. That's tactical writing. It's tactical copy. But long-term ideological pieces, philosophical pieces about your industry, belief pieces, even rants, things that you rant about to your audience, if you can get them to kind of shake their fist in the air and say, yes, that bugs me too, you've made a connection, a powerful, influential connection with that individual. That is strategic influence. That is content that bonds you together. And long-term, that can be very powerful for your company and for your offerings indeed. But it is a long-term strategy. What about the day-to-day tactics? Well, you've got to be good at that too. You've got to be able to write the tactical copy, to deliver the tactical information and marketing messages to get people to buy things in a way that doesn't contradict your content. This is where we need to be careful, all of us. I see so many companies and individuals make the mistake of doing something in the short term, the tactical maneuvers they do today to make a sale, that's in direct contradiction to their values they express in their long-term strategic vision and content. You've got to be careful to keep it consistent, congruent, and intact so that people can look at both and say, there's integrity here. That's what will draw them to you and keep them with you over the long haul. So think about your content marketing and what can you be doing in terms of all the copy that's already on your website, like your about page, your team page, your philosophy of business, your policies and procedures, and of course, your content, your blog posts, your podcast episodes, your interviews you do, the books you write and publish. It's all very important that you think of it in terms of the world building you're doing in the minds of your marketplace. What influence are you wielding and what does it mean in terms of your short-term tactical content and sales copy you're sending out today? That's an important consideration for you to be thinking about. I'd love to hear what you think about this. Share your ideas and questions below, wherever you're watching or listening to this. And until next time, may God bless you. May you be prosperous, in good health, and I wish peace to you and peace to your house. See you soon.